Yeah, please carry on.
Good afternoon, everybody. My subject is revival and survival of Indian MSME and way forward. So, first let us define what is a revival and what is a survival. Survival, I will take it first. Our Indian MSME are running short of total financial ecosystem, which will help them actually at current prices. The finance requirement of our MSME unit are roughly 70 lakh crores, against which our banks and NBFC has given about 18 lakh crores, thus leaving 52 lakh crore shortage, which is financed by suppliers credit as well as informal sector. And borrowing from informal sector is one of the reason why MSMEs are not cost competitive, because the cost of interest payment and other things goes up. After COVID, during this two months lockdown, survival of the existing MSME has become much tougher, mainly for two or three reasons. One is, in this lockdown, you may have incurred fixed costs, including wages, without generating any sales or any revenues. So that has affected a very big dent in the working capital finance, and a lot of migrant labor has gone back. That is another challenge. And third challenge is your suppliers have changed their payment conditions. And fourth is the customer behavior has changed considerably, because today customer is only going for essential items, not looking for aspirational item purchases like automobile, houses and home appliances, etc., which he has put on back burner, thus creating a shortage in ancillary unit. Also will face vertically downward for all these three main main economic building block. So this has created a lot of problem. To mitigate this, Government of India has come out with 3 lakh crore package, emergency line of credit, which will help to roughly 45 lakh units, whose units are standard on 29th February 2020. And these also, after about a month of announcement, roughly only 40,000 crore has been sanctioned, and dispersal is much lower, which is indicating that the reluctance of both sides, that is bank and entrepreneur side, to use this money very carefully, very cautiously, because uh, this whatever extra borrowing you are making is given as a separate working capital term loan, whose interest has to be serviced. Otherwise, both accounts will become NPA. That is why entrepreneurs are going reasonably slow, and this thing, very careful in availing this facility. Bankers are also making their life little miserable for asking lot of questions and other things, though it is 100% guaranteed by Government of India. To overcome this and to make economic activity, our FM has announced 20,000 crore subordinated debt scheme, which has all the guidelines for which has come about 2 or 3 days back, which also will support about 2 lakh sick units or weak units whose account is standard on 31/3/2018. So this is only applicable to those units whose account is standard on 31st March 2018. Also, to propel the growth of fast-growing MSME sector. They have come out with a 50,000 crore scheme for financing the equity in a growing companies. This all three plus the change in definition of MSME also will help lot of unit to expand their capacity, and the definition of new definition of MSME has been gazetted on 2 or 3 days back, or I think it is 26th June. The new gazetted guidelines are gazetted on 26th June. So today we are in 27th June, which is MSME Day. Now, a small advice to our entrepreneur friends. Time has come for Apna Hath Jagannath, where entrepreneurs are supposed to emphasize on strengthening the marketing using digital technology and technological changes which may be necessary to upgrade or automate the processes with a single focus on cutting costs mercilessly. Today, our entrepreneur has to look beyond the geographical region of his operation and has to cut the cost mercilessly so that he becomes competitive over larger market. During this lockdown and after effect of this, entrepreneur will go through a lot of mental agonies, and to overcome this, his family as well as social circle has to be strong so that he can survive, because every day there will be some ups and downs in the unit because of this lockdown. As it is earlier also it was there, now it has increased. To become more competitive, they will have to adopt best practices, increasing their operational efficiency by measuring 52 ratios from their balance sheet and profit and loss account, which will help them to optimize resource allocation. And with this, I am expecting net profit to go up by minimum 2 to 3% in first year itself. Now I will come down to revival. See, first, revival means actually if you have taken a bank loan and you are not able to pay your interest or installment for first 30 days, it will be classified as SMA 0. Next 30 days, it will be classified as SMA 1. Next 30 days, it will be classified as SMA 2. And if it is going beyond 120 days, it will be classified as NPA. In general, bank are, as per RBI guidelines, banks are supposed to invite the entrepreneur to find out why they have become SMA 0 and SMA 1 and SMA 2 and give them handholding support in these phases. But generally banks behave like a money lender, and they want how my money will come, how my money will come, thus making the life of entrepreneur tougher, and it makes entrepreneur shy to find out, go to the bank, and they play a rat and mice, rat and बिल्ली, चूहा और बिल्ली की गेम खेलते हैं. So this is what exactly is the today's scenario. The existing scenario of sickness in MSME today, roughly about 17 lakh crore has been financed by banks to MSME, out of which 1.2 lakh crore is in SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2 and NPA. This data I have taken from MSME Pulse, which has been published by CDB every quarter, and this is coming for last 6 quarters, that is 1.5 years. And whole of my effort to talk to them for connecting this data with the job losses, how many jobs are under, if this unit goes inoperational, non-operational, then the chances of 1 crore job will be uh, in jeopardy. So this existing scenario, and there are many reasons for sickness. External reasons, mainly non-release of government subsidy is one of the main reasons. Unscheduled power cut, changes in government and RBI policy, more particularly after COVID, and labor shortage. These are the main reason for sickness. External this thing. Internal reason, not preparing the project report properly and verifying the assumptions time to time, not preparing financial report properly, more particularly stock statement, debtor statement, creditor statement, etc., which is required by bank, which has to be looked by entrepreneur himself, not as the requirement of bank. It gives lot of data, and entrepreneur uh, carelessly signs and give them. That is not a, that is indication that he is sleeping to sickness or weakness. Many times entrepreneurs are not aware of various schemes launched by Government of India and state government and RBI. Not using digital technology or underutilizing the available digital technology is also one of the major reasons, but they are not able to expand their market share. And very simple tools like 5S, Kaizen, aging statement, they don't do, which gives them a clear indication how to manage their finances. One more reason is the workers' relation and unprofessional selection of key person also becomes, he is my brother-in-law, so he has been employed rather than he, on his technical skills suitable to the job. My brother-in-law does not make him qualify for a job. So that is also many MSMEs are doing, which is one of the reasons that the sickness is coming. Existing solution including new scheme of subordinate debt. Reserve Bank, Central Bank and state government from 1975 onwards are aware of sickness, and time to time all the three have come up with various schemes to avoid sickness or to reduce sickness in MSME. I will not go in all detail, but latest one is on 1119. Reserve Bank has come up with a detailed guidelines for all the units covered under SMA 0, 1, 2 and NPA by various instruments like converting working capital into working capital term loan, funded interest term loan, moratorium on both working capital term loan and machinery term loan as per viability of the units. Here also, banks are reluctant to execute, and they do not want to help, because if it goes beyond, they will transfer this file to the stress management department, and once the file goes there, it is a cremation ground for MSME sector. Either you go for one-time settlement or suppressing laws and DRT and other things, which again increases the burden on the entrepreneur. SBI is one of the pioneering banks in MSME finance, has delegated reasonable power to various controlling office, but the intention of implementation is missing, and entrepreneurs himself does not know the latest changes happening and get caught unaware where banks take advantage. This is the existing scenario. So entrepreneur does not want to go to professionals who will guide them, handhold them, go and discuss with the bank, and he tries to avoid this, and he makes lot of mistakes. Government of India and Reserve Bank has formulated UK Sena committee, which has given a detailed guidelines, and in the detailed guidelines, one of the things suggested by them was to create 5,000 crore equity kind of fund for reviving of sick unit. But instead of that, our ministry and our finance department of government of India has decided to come out with subordinated debt scheme of 20,000 crores in, and they have let the decision of giving this money to the entrepreneur as per the viability with the same bank where he is supposed to take a revival package. And suppose if I need 1 crore rupee extra for reviving and technically viability, so 75 lakhs is supposed to be given by bankers. 25 lakhs is my equity, which I'm supposed to bring, but I'm not able to bring. So Government of India through subordinate debt will give me 15 lakhs of rupees as a personal loan, which I'm supposed to bring it into the equity. So the unit becomes debt equity ratio of the unit becomes viable, while that loan is passed, margin money loan has been passed to the promoter. This is which loan I have to service every month. Though the repayment of this loan is starting after 7 years, and before 10 years I will have to make the repayment, but this scheme may not be effective because after a year or two, again the chances are that it will slip further. Then there are possible solutions which I have suggested in my book. The unexplored gold mine opportunities in the revival of Sikh MSME. I have advocated for equity fund of investment along with handholding, and I have suggested 3 exit route. One exit route is promoter buyback equity as per predetermined valuation, replacing with the other investor, or listing the uh, unit on MSME exchange. To make MSME as a more viable this thing, I have given 3 requests for our ministry to consider. This is request for fiscal concession. See, as on today, private limited company and public limited companies are permitted to take to carry forward losses, which becomes a advantageous for other unit to take over because there are tax advantages. If the same kind of advantages are given to any unit which are registered with Udyog Aadhar in MSME sector, that will it can be partnership or proprietary concern or LLP. It will become an additional attraction for an investor for take these tax losses as a tax advantage. Uh, Second suggestion is see, as on today, our MSME entrepreneur also depends on the family and friend for raising the money in the company. Now, if any unit which is registered having a Udyog Aadhar number and any investment made by family or friend uh, should be given 30% tax incentives. Thus, it will reduce the pressure on the banks and give money formation for a longer period. It will become an attractive investment option with the family and friends, which will reduce the sickness and pressure on the bank. And third suggestion is some sort of mutual fund or similar AI structure should be made for MSC sector where investors will get 30% tax relief. So thus a professional fund manager may be able to invest in various kind of unit, and the investors in this fund will get 30%. It will become a very attractive proposal for individual investors, and because there is a professional fund manager, the chances of getting a good return also will increase. So with this, I am completing my speech. Thank you. Sonali, we can take a question answer now.
Yes. So thank you so much, Mr. Desai, for your session. It was absolutely to the point, and I'm sure everyone was able to get a lot of useful information out of it. We have a few questions lined up for us. So the first question is from Christy, and the question is, I have Udyog Aadhar from MSME for my online training business and web design company. How to get a MSME loan?
First thing is, Mr. Christie, you have to identify how much money do you require. If your requirement of fund is less than 10 lakhs, you can apply for Mudra loan where no collateral is required. And if your fund requirement is higher, then PM by G is there, and that is up to 25 lakhs, and up to 2 crore, you can get a collateral loan. You can take any bank, and now 59-minute loan application is there. You can try that.
Great. So the second question we have from Mr. Sanjay Mishra, and he's asking, will cooperative bank be providing loan under the scheme that you mentioned in your presentation?
Generally, cooperative bank do provide, but there are a lot of registers. They are basically a security or collateral oriented people. So you can better to go to public sector bank rather than cooperative bank.
So the next question we have from Mr. Sordip Depa, and the question is, are entrepreneurship and innovation the core of sustainable economic development at local and global level?
Yes, Deepa, entrepreneurship and innovation is a core for sustainable economic development. And if you reduce your cost of manufacturing, you will be becoming wider. That reduction in cost is by using tools like 5S Kaizen. Apart from that, innovating your processes will make you to go beyond your normal geographical reach of the market.
Okay.
Thank you,
Uh,
Deepa.
right. So we have another question. Just a second. From Mr. Anurag Gandhi. He is asking, any suggestion or guidelines to collect the money blocked by government departments of MSME?
Very good question. Can you, Sonali, repeat the question?
Sure. So the question is, any suggestions or guidelines to collect the money blocked by the government departments of MSME?
See, there is a facilitation center in every DIC as well as uh, Commissioner of Industry. There, if you submit the documents and other things, they will be able to take it up and negotiate with government department and get this thing. But now our FM has announced that they will also help that getting the money from public sector government department, and they have launched a portal known as Champion. So you register your complaint on Champion, and it is expected that they will be able to resolve the payment problem much faster. So use Champion platform, you will get a possibly a solution. That may take 3 to 6 days or 9 days.
Great. So we have another question from Mr. Manoj. He is asking, for a MSME production facility, is there a provision for a working capital loan? What options and which is the most effective?
Mr. Manoj, if you have not taken any loan on the existing machinery, then you can club your working capital requirement along with the project report. And if you have already established your unit with the fixed capital investment, you can go work out your working capital requirement and go to the um, um, uh, nearest bank which is available in your area, and you can apply working capital finance. According to their norms, they will give the working capital finance. And if you find some difficulty, you can always take up your matter with the portal known as Champion.
Okay, great. So the next question is from Mr. Ramesh Challa. He's asking what can be done if a bank refuses or does not sanction the loan under these schemes without collateral? Is there any remedy?
See, generally, banks can reject your loan for many reasons, and they refuse to give the reasons in writing. So, better thing you take it up with Champion, whichever bank and name and every detail, and you may be able to get a resolution faster.
So the next question is, are the oldest family firms more prepared to face the current challenges?
See, business models are changing much faster, but older family uh, businesses, they have got DNA built in their skin, in their blood, which will help them. And a lot of social security around the family business is given. So, if you are young and ready to bring modern technology, there are possible ways, and the growth rate can be improved considerably.
Great. So the next question we have is from Mr. Mukesh Singh. The question is, what is the upper limit of MSME loans? Is the mortgage necessary for that? What do we do when public sector banks are not providing the loans, even if the proposal and the other papers are okay?
See, bank are at a branch level, they are refusing to give up to 2 crore collateral free loan. So the best way is start small and then increase every year, or take up the matter with concerned head offices of the branch bank, or with Reserve Bank. Generally, Reserve Bank and other people are not very effective. Their namesake in SLBC meeting, when the top business, top bankers are there, they say we will improve, we'll improve, but in reality, they harass the entrepreneur and they find out faults, how to reject that proposal. So take it up at higher level or go to champions. There is no alternative because there is a mindset problem at a branch level,
Great.
because they are supposed to be accountable. If the loan goes bad after few years, they are coming under 3C, and that is making them not to take a decision or reject the proposal.
So the next question we have is from Mr. Anurag Gandhi. He's asking, is there any strict policy to reimburse the pending payments or securities held by the government department?
Mr. Gandhi, I am not very clear. You are talking about funds blocked up, or for bills payment, or EMD, or things like that, or what is the exact uh, problem you are facing? Is
Gandhi,
Mr.
if you can just share an
Mr. Gandhi
answer.
is there?
So he's saying yes, withheld EMD and PG.
You take up with your commissioner of industry in your area, or a DIC. They may be able to give you a letter that you are an MSM unit, and try that way. There is no foolproof method.
Right. So since we are running out of time and we have to start the next session, I think we'll just wrap up the Q&A session for now. We'll try to take up the other questions as well after our second session is over. So thank you so much, Mr. Desai. Thank you so much for patiently answering all of these questions and giving brief to the point answers which are relevant to all our attendees.
Thank you, Sonali.
Thank you, sir.